So now we're at the day of surgery. You guys are both admitted. You're all in your lovely hospital gowns.
Yep.
Take us through that, because did you guys get to see each other? Were you in the same room? And, what did you guys say to each other before you went in?
I don't remember what I said to him last before he went in. He went in the day before, so the morning of, I didn't see him or speak with him. We weren't in the same room at all. We went in early in the morning. I believe it was like 6 in the morning.
Oh, wow.
And I don't really. It was just sign this form, sign that form, go wait here, and then eventually they took me into a room. Nadia was able to come with me. I just remember they hooked me up to a bunch of stuff. Hooked up my IV.
Drugged you up a little bit?
I don't know if they drugged me or anything. I don't really remember, but I remember
they were drugged.
Maybe, but I was so nervous and just so many things were going through my head. It's weird to even think about now. Like it was really surreal. But I just remember the last step was them putting us in a room, sort of like it was like a lineup of, I guess, like people waiting for surgery.
Yeah.
And it was like a booth kind of, and like you're just like in line, and they had a TV set up, and then the surgeon came up and spoke with me, and it was just like, I'm the surgeon. How are you feeling today? Just told me like it'd be another 10 minutes or so. She explained to my wife how long the surgery would take.
Yep.
What to expect, like when I'll be out, and that was about it. I made a little joke with her. I told her, if you're cutting in here, I'm a little bit doughy in the midsection. So if you want to help me out, maybe take out a little bit of fat while you're in there. And she was like, okay, we'll see what we can do. But,
it's not liposuction, but good try.
Yeah, I was like, hey, I'm doing something good here. I mean,
Note to donors, you're not going to get liposuction.
No, they won't give you anything. So, and then when I was ready, said bye to Nadia. They wheeled me into the operating room. I was able to get up on the table by myself. They're like, okay, just hop up on the table. They offered me to like lift me onto the table. I was like, oh, I'm okay. I just hopped on. I remember it being super cold.
I was just going to say, is it like a cold metal table?
Yeah, with some blankets, but it was still freezing.
And just to be clear, this is not to scare people. This is to let you know as donors, this is the process you go through. It's the reality. But, if you're making this decision for your family, then it's a positive one. And it's a good one, because this is proof right here. We're talking about a year later with a donor and recipient who happened to be a non-match. And it's been amazing for both of them. But I just thought I'd add that in there.
Oh yeah, definitely. Like Nadia was saying, like we have to keep it real and give you 100% like what really happened, because this is a big decision. So you need to know everything. Yeah. And this is just my experience. I'm sure if you spoke with other donors, they have different experiences. But yeah, I mean, this is my experience. They put me on the table. It was cold. They threw some warming blankets on top of me.
And then they knocked you out?
Yeah, a little bit of chit chat with the nurses and the people in the room.
Right.
It was very lighthearted. I think they were probably just making it lighthearted for my sake.
Because they know donors like yourself are going to be super nervous, right? It's like, you're going to cut into me and take my kidney that I'm giving to my dad. So like, and I get it. They're there, and some nurses are really big up to all our hospital workers, because they're really good at trying to like just diffuse situations and calm people down.
Yeah,
so
some are good and some
not so good, but that's okay. That's
later.
okay.
But anyways,
get that for later.
And yeah, it was just like anybody who's had surgery, even like oral surgery, have wisdom teeth taken out. They put the thing in your arm, the needle or the gas mask. I think it was both for me. And they said, okay, Steve, count backwards from 10.
And that was it.
And yeah.
Good night.
And by the time I got to 7,
that was it. You were out.
Yeah.
So Dad, you went in the day before. They went in and did the surgery for you, right? Is that what happened?
No. The way the surgery works is Steve goes in first. They take the kidney out, and then they get the same operating room ready for me to come in to put the kidney in. Oh, wow. So what I went in for on a Sunday was to just make sure the antibody levels hadn't changed and whether I needed another treatment or not. I think they may have put me on for maybe 2 hours or so.
Right.
And then everything was fine. So I was there already. So they just kept me for the night.
Right.
Made me comfortable. Gave me some nice hospital food. Yeah. So the morning of the surgery, I was already there. So I remember Nadia and Mom coming down. Steve. But I didn't see Steve, I don't think.
Yeah.
I saw Nadia and Mom. Because I think he was already being prepped.
Right.
They only bring you down to the room when they're ready for you, just about. So I think I may have still been in my room, and then they brought me down. And
What was going through your head?
well, I wouldn't say I wasn't excited. I was excited, but I wasn't scared. And the reason I wasn't scared is because I've been in and out of hospitals enough times to know when I had a catheter put in, when I had my biopsy, you know.
Right.
I had another procedure
Right.
that I had done some years before, and it always entailed, going under.
Right.
So I knew what to expect. So I didn't really feel any anxiety. I actually felt sorry for Steve because, and Nadia, I hope I don't get you in trouble here. Nadia told me that Steve has very little tolerance for pain. He's never been through something like this before, and I can appreciate that.
Right.
I mean, going from never having a cut, being stitched or anything like that, to having a kidney taken out of you,
Yeah,
right?
that's big. That's huge.
That's big stuff, right?
Yeah.
So, I felt for him, and I think I was praying for him when he was in there. And yeah, what I remember was I was in the pre-surgery room just waiting, and they had an IV hooked up to me and everything. And the doctor came, and she said, okay, we're done with Steve, and everything went well, and we're just cleaning up, and we'll be ready for you, in about half an hour or so, right? Or maybe
Right.
an hour. I can't remember exactly what the timing was. But, for them, it's like just another day, right?
Yeah. For you, it's like, oh my God, I'm
Yeah.
getting a kidney.
And they come to you, but they, the doctor we had, the surgeon, I mean, she was great.
Yeah.
And she even asked, how do you feel? And, do you have any questions before you go in? She just wanted to know that you were comfortable.
Right. Of course, because this is huge.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
now you get your kidney. You both come out. When did you guys see each other? When did you get that first?
Well, that's a different story. So, okay, Steve, you go ahead. Or you want me to go?
The day of the surgery, I have very little memory.
That's okay. You were on drugs.
I remember waking up. I was happy I woke up. I remember that was my first thoughts, just thanking God that I got through it, that I'm awake. Everyone sounded very far away. I guess this is common for those who've had surgery before. When you get out of it,
You're still foggy.
yeah, like the nurses were on top of me, asking me if I was okay, and I think I was answering them, and it just sounded like they were very far away, even though they're right.
It's like a
in front of
Charlie
me.
Brown episode.
Yeah, sort
Right.
of. And the rest of the day, I don't really remember much. I was in a lot of pain. I felt sick, like nauseous,
Yeah.
tired, and but I was in and out. I think I was in and out of sleep all day. Still feeling
Understandably,
the effects
yeah.
of the anesthesia plus the drugs they're pumping into me, and
Right.
I remember just wanting to know if I could see my wife and my kids. I think
Right.
that's all
And we're gonna bring in Nad shortly because I want to get her take, being as the wife and daughter in the middle of that, because I think people forget not only is a donor and recipient going through it, but there's also family members. And you have, for Nad, that's huge, I would think, because I'm a wife wanting to make sure my husband's good, and I'm a daughter having this bond with the man that brought me into the world, and it's like, that's huge too. I'm gonna start crying, so I'm gonna stop right there for a minute. Dad, when you got out of surgery, where were you at? Like, you guys didn't see each other, right? They still didn't.
I don't remember if we saw each other that day because I was really high on drugs.
No, we didn't. So
I think I saw you the day after.
What?
He said he thinks he saw you
What
the
I
day
do
after.
recall is Nadia saying to me, Dad, when they saw me in recovery, I looked like I was like dead.
Oh my God. Oh my God. That's just the kidney settling in, I think.
No, she said just the way I looked. It was like, I was just totally out of it.
Oh man. And understandably, again, now you're here trying to kick out an old kidney and put in a new one. That's a lot of things going on.
Well, no, they actually don't take out the old kidneys.
Oh, they don't.
That's
No,
interesting.
they
to know.
just leave them where they are, and they put the other kidney in a different spot.
Wow.
And we can get
it's
into
like,
that
it's like here.
later on.
Oh wow. So they
But yeah, it's too risky to try and remove the old kidneys now. According to the doctor, what they say is those kidneys will just shrivel up and turn into like little prunes.
Oh yeah, well yeah, because it's not connected, I guess, anymore. So
Well, it's still connected, but they will eventually die a slow death and just shrivel up.
wow, that's interesting. I didn't know that. I learn something new every day. All right.
So anyhow, after my surgery, all I remember is waking up the next morning.
Right.
I think I woke up about 6 or 7 o'clock in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
So I would have been out for quite a while.
Right.
Right. So because I think I went in around 1 or 2 o'clock for my surgery.
Okay. So
And with the recovery period, and then they took me upstairs when I was safe to be put into a room. And I don't remember anything until the next morning when I woke up. And I opened my eyes, and the first thing I said, is thank you, Lord, and thank you, son.
I think that's the one messaging too, to let people know, is that faith for you guys, whatever your faith is, faith is always a strong thing to have, because I think I hear that throughout this entire interview, that you both have faith. You both, thank God.
Without God, none of this would have been possible, because
100%.
From the start of this process to the end of it, I think God had his hand on it.
Yes.
And that's why certain things did not happen. And this had to be the way it was done.
Yeah, that makes
And
sense.
I truly trust that, and I believe that.
Yeah, I believe that too. So when you guys finally saw each other, what was that like? How was that? Were you up walking, or did they just kind of roll you two into the room and say, "Here, guys, look"?
Who wants to go first? We had very different experiences, I think, the day after.
Yeah?
At least that's the way it seemed to me.
So Dad, tell me what that was like when you first saw Steve.
So when I woke up, the nurse came to me and she says, "How are you?" And I said, "I'm doing fine." And she said, "Well, you're doing really good, because we were just taking our water out of you for the whole night."
Right.
Because I remember when I went in for surgery, my creatinine level was something like 1643. Like, I was just toxic.
Wow.
And when they check me, because when you're in the hospital, they're taking blood 3 times a day, if not more.
Of course.
Checking all your indicators and stuff, right?
Right.
And I think the next morning, when they told me, they said my creatinine was down to 300 already.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So the kidney was working well.
The kidney
Good
was
job,
working
Steve.
well.
Yeah,
She said, "You got a really active kidney here."
You gave him a good one there.
Exactly. So anyhow, she said, see how you feel, and it's good if you can get up and just take a walk down the hall and come back.
Right. Start some movements.
So I said to her, I said, the first thing I want to do is to go see my son.
Of course.
Right? And she said, "Well, you can, because he's right next door."
Nice.
And I decided, okay, I got,
I can only picture this.
Oh, yeah.
I can only picture this. Like, Dad comes in walking, all feeling good, levels are great, and Steve's lying there going, "I'm going to die."
Well, basically, that's what happened, but let me walk you through it. So I got my IV pole ready, right?
Right.
And I sort of crawled over to the next room, all happy to see Steve, all bright and cheery, cheerful. He was in a private room, and there was a guy in the bed
Next to it.
first before I get into the room.
Right.
So I didn't see Steve. As soon as I got in the room, I saw this guy, and he said hi, and I said hi. I said, "I've come to see my son here."
Right.
And as I passed the curtain, I just saw Steve just laid back like this, like he's in a lot of pain,
Oh boy.
And before I even saw him, I said, "Okay, let's get this guy up, because we have to go for a walk. Come on, you lazy bum, get up."
And Steve's just like...
When I passed the curtain, I saw him there, and I'm like, "Oh my gosh, what did I just do?"
Totally different experience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that normal?
Sorry, and I asked him how he was feeling, and he couldn't even talk. Now he was saying he's in a lot of pain. And
is that normal for donors? Like, I mean, I guess it just depends on everybody's body, right?
Yeah.
But I guess it's semi-normal, like, because you're recovering too. You've never had surgery as well.
Exactly.
So this is the first time for you as well.
The way it was explained to me is, in the health profession, I guess doctors have to take some sort of oath that they are always going to preserve life and help people and not harm and only do good.
Yes.
It was explained to me by one of the doctors that this is the only time in the medical profession where they inflict harm on a healthy person.
Right.
So I think typically it is harder for the donor because as the donor you're losing, you're healthy, you're perfectly healthy, and then they're taking something from you
and your body's trying to adjust.
You need, right? Like you don't need 2 kidneys, but
your body's trying to adjust. It just lost an organ.
Right. I mean,
and it's like, okay, we're good. We can survive without
let's put it this way. You can live without 2 hands, but I mean, you can live with 1 hand, but you know, it's better to have 2. You can live with 1 eye, but it's better to have 2.
Yeah.
They're taking something that you need. So and then the recipient is receiving something that's going to make them better.
Right.
So they're hurting one person to heal one person.
Right.
So in that context, it's harder for the donor. I believe this is probably true in all situations, unless there's some other complication or outside problem. But my experience the day after was very different than Dad's.
To just add to that, it's exactly what Steve said. I went from a position of not feeling good to feeling better.
Yes.
And he went from a position of feeling good to not feeling so good.
Yeah, makes sense.
And apparently the operation for him is more than it is for me.
Right.
Like his surgery is more difficult than giving me the kidney.
Right.
I think there's a few more cuts involved. There's a little bit more snipping and disconnecting of, I guess, arteries or. I'm not a doctor. I don't know.
Yeah, but I get it. Like, you know what I mean? You're going
invasive, I guess.
And they want to make sure that. Sorry, Dad. Go ahead.
They have to pump air into his chest, into the cavity.
Right.
To be able to get to the kidney to remove it. So that the effects of that is it causes a lingering pain because it goes up to your shoulder. And I know for weeks, Steve complained about that pain. He asked the doctor and they said it was normal. I don't think they told him that before though. No. He found out after that he would get that lingering pain. But, you know, I felt sorry for him as well because he has a small esophagus and trying to get that tube down his throat was a problem.
Oh, wow.
And from talking to the girl at the clinic, post-surgery, when I started going to the clinic, she actually witnessed the surgery. And she was explaining to me about Steve's surgery. She saw both of them, right? Yeah. And she said she felt sorry for Steve because they had to try 2 or 3 times to get the tube down his throat. And I think they kind of damaged his esophagus a little bit. And he had to basically eat or drink soups.
Until it healed.
Until it healed. And it was very painful for him. He can probably tell you more about that.